So I'm Chloe Nichols and I work for iProspect. I'm a digital operations executive, and I got into the role and into media through, I suppose after university I started doing an internship at Google, and that really excited kind of my passion for media, and after that I haven't really looked back. Since being here I chose AdOps, I suppose because it was a really good introduction into media and into the digital landscape, because we work with almost every single channel, so day to day I not only look at display activity for online advertising, but I also look at paid social stuff for Facebook or paid search activity. And I think touching upon each of those different teams in iProspect all the time has given me a really good overview of how they all connect and what they're all doing together.
I'm Lydia Lim and I work as a digital account manager at iProspect. I've been at the agency for about 2 years now. How I got into media was, well, I had studied architecture initially and I thought I wanted to become an architect, but that after about 3 years I decided not to continue with the additional 4. A friend of mine actually had offered me a job at Living Social as a production coordinator. So I started off there working on the Travel Escapes platform, and after that Nicola Henderson, one of the internal recruiters at iProspect, reached out to me 2 years in, and I went in for an interview and I was placed within the ad operations team. The current clients that I work on are General Motors, and that includes all the different car brands like Opel, Vauxhall and Chevrolet. And I think working at Dan is really great because they do offer a lot of opportunity for employees to take on additional training. We do have quite a few internal training courses that we can take. A couple of the training courses that Chloe and I attended was the project management training course that was held internally. We also did effective business communication,
which has helped us obviously with this presentation which we gave.
So one of the things we decided to do was to have a deep dive into email in specific, because obviously we do communicate to our clients and other people working at the sister agencies via email quite a lot. So what we did was we used an analogy of using an email as almost like a sandwich. So the top slice would be the subject matter, making sure that that's kept clear and concise.
Yeah, and then your dressing is kind of how you format the email, so making sure you format it correctly, and the style in which you're speaking is also correct for your audience.
And then if you think about a sandwich, every sandwich has got to have its meat, and that's effectively the body of your email. So, you know, we were basically walking through the points of how to format your email. If you've got different points that you might want to cover, it might be good actually bullet pointing them, making sure that you've got different headings with underlined, or making sure text is in bold to ensure that your reader is able to read things quite clearly and quickly.
And then, yeah, obviously the bottom slice is then the end of your email, and you always kind of want to finish and wrap up on a good note. So not only repeating what you were kind of sending the email in the first place for, but also then signing off of something which is both relevant to that person and also something quite friendly normally. Then after we looked at the sandwich analogy, we went on to look specifically at real life examples of emails that we had maybe received or other colleagues had received, which were maybe slightly inappropriate in terms of tone, or were written with poor punctuation, or we felt there was something in the style which maybe could have been improved in a certain way.
So one of the individual exercises that we got the Princess Trust apprentices to perform was to basically rewrite an email that was provided to them. So we gave them a sample piece of text which they had to then rewrite and then swap with the person next to them, and they would have to then critique one another to see which ways they could improve on.
As Lydia was mentioning earlier, what we wanted to highlight in effective communication was that with emails you kind of want to just be guiding the person through what you're trying to tell them. So you want to make, layout wise, a very clear, very nice to look at and intake email.